Hello, this is Transformers fan G138, and I'm here with a video review of Transformers Generations Windblade. And this is the fan-built bot that Hasbro built via votes on their website last year. It was previewed at the last BotCon, and it looked amazing then, and she has recently got a comic book, and it's decent, it's okay, but overall this toy is just amazing, beautiful, and just all round a great toy, especially for collectors. So, vehicle mode, usually we're used to standard jet or vehicle or whatever. This one actually has some cool little features. You got these actually rotate, which is kind of cool. They're also, I expected them to be copied and pasted, but they're actually opposite fins. So they would theoretically spin in the right direction, unlike the, what's his name? Thrust. His didn't spin, but his are going in the same direction. The tilt. Now, I will say, this is the best one out of the entire wave. It's the only one that's not a repaint. And on top of that, it's the only one that has really decent quality control. It's like they spent the entire budget of this wave on her, which, honestly, I don't mind. Windblade is pretty awesome. So, one of the coolest things about the figure is these, up front here, actually rotate for the vertical landing takeoff stuff. This is actually notable in the first page of her own comic. She's going whoosh. Anyway, on top of that, she has the normal thrusters back here, which is kind of cool. And plus, you'll notice this big handle thing sticking out of the back end of the jet. If we take this off, this is like the coolest weapon I've ever seen on Transformer. Her sword. I mean, it's got its own sheath. That is pretty awesome on anybody's standards. It's rare to find a toy with a sheath, let alone a Transformer. Drift kind of counts, I guess, because of the doors, but this is like a separate sheath, which is really neat. So, on to Windblade herself. So, transformation is actually not bad. I've heard people complaining about it, and she just looks fantastic in both modes. It's a little gappy here, but whatever. So, the front landing gear folds up, the back remains stationary. That actually does not get in the way at all. We'll pull the front part of this up, unpeg the arms from these little tabs down here. I'll actually grab these tabs and rotate them up, because these tab in to here. And we'll get those up and out of the way. Come around to the front, or the bottom, and we'll bring these up on both sides. Next, we'll rotate this section, separate the legs, come around to the back end of the legs, flip these down, and then rotate them all the way around. They do rotate. How was it? There we go. Sliding out of the joint. There, that works. So once those are around, we'll come to the front and pull these panels down. And these will snap into place, forming the lower leg and her awesome looking heel. I'll get to a minute here why it's so awesome looking. And there we got the basic bot down. Now we'll come up here to our chest area, rotate this whole thing down, and then rotate her head up. This whole assembly rotates back, and this whole thing is actually on a pivot, so it pivots in, so when we lock, it actually gives her a thinner look. Then we bring the shoulders up again, head comes up, come to the back side, and here we can mess around with the wings. Move them around and out of the way and all this other stuff. And there you have her in basic robot form. Very, very amazing. Very good proportions. I like the looks. Her whole shoulder armor can actually rotate and move. So if you like her to have more broader shoulders, you can rotate these up and have the broad-shouldered look. Or you can keep these down. Honestly, I like them both ways. Great posability and mobility, by the way. Very good, both ends. Now, I mentioned earlier about the legs. This is a cool design. So, the thrusters aren't directly down, they're actually on the back of her leg, which is actually more sound and physics and such. So it's actually pretty cool that they have that. Of course, they probably just did it based on design. The legs actually balance themselves pretty well on these heels. The only thing to watch out for is this: if you bump it, it tends to go in. But I haven't had an issue with it. So, arms, great. Wings, great. They move all over the place. They actually move with and independently of the arms, which are kind of cool. So you can pretty much get any pose you want out of her. Now, one of the coolest features is the amount of paint on her head. She has like black, red, metallic blue, and gold up there. It's pretty cool, as well as the Autobot logo on her chest. We have the blue, the black in here. And there's black down here and here. There's the metallic blue again on her wrist. Overall, very good paint job, and like there's no smearing, nothing. This is the best paint job I've seen on a Transformer yet. And again, I think they just did it because it's the fans' toy. Now, she does kind of have that hourglass look to her, because I'm holding both of her sides here. You really can't see it on the camera too well because of these panels. This is part of her jet mode back here, but not bad. So, posability. The heel moves. I swear that locked in better earlier. Oh well. Probably just missing the peg or something. 90-degree rotation on the knee. Very cool how they actually rounded this so there's not a gap. And it doesn't even come close to touching the wheel back here. Perfect. You have a upper leg swivel. This does get a little bit in the way, but overall not bad. So you get just almost an 180-degree rotation out of that. You end up with a waist swivel. Amazing, isn't it? Very hard to find in a Transformer these days. Head, hinge, dual hinge, which is awesome. shoulder, hinge up here, ball and socket joint inside, hinge on the armor here. There's a swivel on the upper arm, and then there's this nice friction joint, 90-degree friction joint, oh, just over 90 degrees, sorry, friction joint on the arm, and then a nice rotating hand. This does get hard to turn, though, I will say that. But it's overall very, very fantastic figure. And I've been talking for 10 minutes about it. So, why do I think this is cool? Sword. Anyway, the other reason I think this is cool, so she can actually hold her scabbard. That's awesome. And rare. For anything. Sword slides out very nicely. It's kind of got this translucent purple to clear. And that just slides into her hand. And she can hold the sword, the sheath, and look really cool. Now that's not the only thing. The sheath actually has some different places it can plug in. So the sheath can plug in down here on her hip on either side. So you can have like a low riding scabbard. Or she can go reach over here. It's a little harder, but you can actually have her draw the entire sword by dislocating her shoulder, but minor details. And also, back here, or back on this panel back here, on both sides of the nose cone, there's also a plug for the scabbard. Plug it in on this side. This is where I had it earlier. There we go. Almost. There we go. And the scabbard can go on her back, which at this point she can just reach back there and also pull out the sword. Provides a nice little place to store it too. Why is there a scabbard needed for an energy blade? I don't know, but it looks cool. That's the important part. Now, what else can she do? There is one hidden feature that was not really advertised at all. And I've discovered this by playing around with it. This back panel on her head, if you play with it, actually pops out intentionally. Rotate her hand like this. You can actually put this in her hand. And look, now she has a traditional Chinese or Japanese, depending on where you want to examine it from, fan. Which, that's kind of cool. Nice little hidden feature in there. Something they really didn't have to do, but did anyway. So yeah, I'm just having fun with her at this point. Very cool figure. Very, very high up scores. They went above and beyond for Windblade. And at the end of this 15-minute video, I will give you a nice little ranking on what I think she deserves. A 10. It's very, very rare. She's one of the 2 or 3 tops Transformers I actually assigned a 10. And that's for transformation, accuracy, paint, weapons, joints, posability, sturdiness. Like, she's actually really stable. It's like my tablet will fall off the table before she does. And other issues, I found none. So this, let's be honest, this weapon is just amazing. She really deserves a 10 for that. But that aside. So yeah, there's just amazing figure. I say get it. Get it, get it, get it. Even if you're not really into the IDW stuff, it's a fan-built figure. Support it. It's awesome. It works out well. Plus it adds another female character in the mix. And that, plus we're getting some more females next, in the next wave, which I'm excited for. But without further ado, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, post comments down below or send me a message. I will respond. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed.